What do you think this is all about? You think this is a fucking costume? This is a way of life.
Hey BALLBUSTERS, Bates here with your friend and mine, Ray Mungus, ready to put fanboys in their place tonight on episode 8 of Way of Life Live. How are you doing tonight, Ray?
I'm alive. You?
Yeah, I guess I'm alive too after that little emergency.
Yeah, let's just call it that.
But much better now.
Good to hear.
Yep. So, how's your week been thus far?
Not too bad. Been relatively busy with the site. Had a few 911 emergency last minute. I guess need to fill up some slots on the site. That kind of screwed up my already screwed up sleeping schedule. So it was a good time. How about you?
Everything was going good. I actually got the last Christmas present I was waiting for today. It was some custom art I ordered from an artist in Greece. And, well, they screwed up the size. I already had bought frames for them. So I was unboxing everything and getting ready to start wrapping up the presents. And then the art, which was actually on really nice canvas, wouldn't fit in the frames. I double checked everything. I think the art was 14 by 20, and that's the frames I bought, 14 by 20. It's an odd size, but yeah, no, just it does not fit. Basically, what I really need is, God, something ridiculous, like 20 by 24.
Yeah, and that doesn't sound like a normal frame size, as far as I know, at least.
Well, it looks like Michael's has some. I'm trying to see if they have anything a little higher quality. The ones I bought were actually a glass frame with nice, like, heavy-duty wood molding. So I'm looking for something similar. I mean, if I can't find it, I can cut the art a little bit because it's got a lot of, like, blank border around the actual art.
Yeah, I was gonna say that if you didn't, if it ended up not fitting, you'd always find something to put in your place.
Well, yeah, I only opened up one of the frames. I'm gonna end up keeping that one, and I have a 12 by 12 that I just got from Gray Matter the other day that I might try to make work with that frame because it's a really nice frame. And I'd hate not to use it for anything. But the other one I'm going to return, and I'm just going to go find 2 new ones. Be done with it.
Right on. By the way, just so everybody knows, we're changing our format to framing discussion. You know, we're giving up on horror and the geek stuff. We like to talk about framing art and all that stuff on this show now. Kidding.
Well, they're What's up?
I said, speaking of gray matter, you got some great prints.
Yeah, I did. I am upset though that I did not, like, when I saw that Spider-Man print, I'm like, oh my god, that's one of the prints that Stan Lee could have signed. I'm looking everywhere for an autograph. Yeah, not there.
When I saw that Spider-Man print, I was disappointed because it wasn't mine, and it's not on my wall right now.
That was actually one of the rare prints, but it could have been even rarer if it was Stan Lee signed, because that is a foil edition that I don't even think they offer on their site.
Yeah, I don't think that one's for sale anymore, or they might have it at shows only. But
yeah.
In fact, when you pulled that one out, I didn't even know there was a foil edition of it.
Yeah, no,
it caught me by surprise.
Yeah, it's really pretty. It was definitely my favorite piece out of all 8. But that Jekyll and Hyde one, that really is growing on me. I'm loving it more and more. And the other rare piece I got was one they don't even list on their site. I had to like dig deep to find out who the artist is and what the name of it is, and I think it's just like a completely like original piece. It's that small 12 by 12 I got. It's called Pride, and I don't think it's from a movie or anything, but it's a really gorgeous piece.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, going through a lot of them, you didn't. I don't think you pulled a bad piece, to be honest.
No,
you might not be a fan of the particular movie, but they're all gorgeous pieces of art.
Yeah, no, I mean, I really wish I liked Prometheus because I think the art on that poster is amazing. But as I said, I don't ever see myself buying a frame and putting it up on the wall, especially when I'm going to have very limited wall space by the time I get back into the house with all this shit now.
Yeah, considering you just keep buying or, like, obtaining Ant-Man posters. I think your entire downstairs hangout space is going to be covered with Ant-Man art.
Yeah, and the funny thing is I think I'm still missing two other Ant-Mans from Gray Matter.
That's insane to me. Like I love supporting an individual, I guess fandom or comic book or whatever and such. And like I'll buy a piece of art or two here and there, but man, nothing like you and Ant-Man.
And you know what? I'm thinking just because it'll be just like crazy, ridiculous, but still awesome, I might buy those other two Ant-Mans and just have an Ant-Man wall.
I swear, I think that's going to be the running joke for us now. Like any piece of Ant-Man art I'm going to find, I'm just going to purchase for you, just so that you could have nothing but.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool, but I mean, I do also have a gorgeous Thanos lithograph ordered. So
yeah, that one's impressive. That was that an Alex Ross piece?
No, it's not Alex Ross.
Okay. The Alex Ross has some great art up recently, so I figured it might have been.
Yeah, no, I mean I have the Alex Ross Guardians litho right next to me actually, but this one was, who did this one? It was an Asian artist.
Not sure offhand. I mean, I've seen how it looks, and it looks amazing. Very, very much worth the money.
Yeah, I just had the email up, and it disappeared on me. Bastard.
Technology and live shows. How do they work?
But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that Thanos piece. Hopefully it comes in after I get into the house. Because I know I'm going to want to unbox it and just, like, hang it up.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Du Chun and Ian McDonald.
Yeah, it's a beautiful piece. I mean, look up their names, look up the Thanos piece, and, you're going to be impressed. Me and Bates over here, we really enjoy collecting posters, alternate movie posters or comic book art and such like that. So we're gonna randomly dive into stuff, that sort of topic.
Yeah, probably between the two of us, we probably have. I have right now probably about 12 or 13, and you probably have, I don't know, 4 or 5, maybe 6 Gray Matter art pieces.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I started a little bit after you, but they're just so addictive, and what I love about it is almost every Monster Mania that we see them at, like they always have something new that we're gonna want to take home no matter what. Yeah,
I mean the one convention we went to, I think we dropped altogether between both of us like $220 or $230 on posters because we kept like, oh, I kind of want that, and they're like, all right, well if you pick that up, we'll cut you a deal. I'm like, oh, that's great, and then they would throw in stuff and.
Yeah, I think we got like 3 or 4 extra prints that they just gave us entirely for free.
Yeah, we got a Toxie.
You got did you get the Haxon one that time?
I bought that.
You purchased that one?
Yeah, the extra ones I gave to you. It was a Puppet Master, the Toxie, and I don't remember if there was a third one, but I definitely remember those two.
Yeah. They're incredible guys, fantastic art, and you're doing a piece on them tomorrow on Dead Entertainment, aren't you?
Yes, hopefully it should be up tomorrow. I'm just finishing up the article. Basically, it's just a tie-in to the unboxing video I did yesterday. I have an edited version of that I just put up. But basically, it's just highlighting that these guys, Gray Matter Art, they're a good bunch of dudes. They take care of their customers, and they continuously put out Mondo quality posters that you can actually obtain. So
yeah, they're completely accessible. And dare I say, some of their prints and the quality of the art might even surpass Mondo.
I put that down in the article.
Yeah, I mean, I was recently looking at my Cannibal Holocaust poster.
Oh, it's a great one.
It's like on my #1 priority to frame. I actually took it out recently because I was looking for some of the prints that I'm never going to frame and try to get rid of. And I started to take pictures of it, thinking maybe I could fetch a few bucks for this. And it's just too gorgeous not to frame and hang up. And the quality of the paper, the quality of the inks, the styles of the inks. They have some metallic in there. They've got some, the red really pops, and it's almost like off the paper, like it's actually blood. It's just an amazing print. So needless to say, that's getting framed and hung up very soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna go broke getting frames for everything I unboxed yesterday, and I still have 3 or 4 that I had replaced because they were destroyed in the house fire, sitting in my closet right now. So those need frames as well. So by the time I get back into the house, I'm probably gonna be dropping a couple $100 just on frames for Gray Matter pieces.
Yeah, I trust me, the struggle's real. Whenever I hit up, I buy the cheap frames, to be honest. I go to Walmart and I get those $20 specials, and they work. They hang up very well. They look nice. They have a good presentation. But when you have like 30 or so prints at $20 a pop, it adds up.
Sometimes those cheap frames are okay. What I'll tell you that I don't like about them is actually getting the piece of art in them. Sometimes it's the most frustrating thing ever. It just doesn't work. Like, you got the cheap cardboard in the back, and then you got those little metal tabs you got to pull and press forward again to lock everything in place. And if you don't, like, friggin' bend your nail trying to bend those tabs, you might snap one off or something. So
your nail, not the tab.
No, you might, maybe both.
Right.
But I found a company that actually makes these amazing frames. I'm trying to see if I can find the name of it.
By the way, you should send that to me.
Yeah, no, it's there's no more of those tabs. Actually, the molding it's a metal molding, and each piece of the molding. You know what? I'm gonna let me see if I can find it real quick. The name of it, Snape Zo. And then
okay, I think I've heard of those. And then they have hinges and they open on the sides, right?
Yeah. I have one right behind me. I'm just gonna grab it and just. We are so going like late tonight, but
we're gonna have a 3-hour episode and we're just gonna talk about frames.
But I mean, for anybody who like frames a lot of art, like they know how annoying this could be. Hang on, I just want to grab this real quick.
For it. But yeah, no, they definitely could be annoying. You just not only is the cost substantial, it can be substantial if you get a lot of prints, but it's a process. You have to make sure everything's right and there's any glue residue around the sides. You don't want that messing up your art. And you pay some of these posters. They're big bucks. They're relatively expensive, so you don't want anything happening to them while you're trying to put it within the frame and protect it.
Yeah, dude. Just frames in general are awful. All right, so yeah, it's called Snape Zo. It's really nice. It's actually got the only problem with that, I just noticed, is that there's no like hook in the back.
Some of those, they have little kits that come with them that you have to like put on your own.
Yeah, I mean, I probably lost the one this one had, possibly. But I mean, that's easy enough to get. But it's got a nice, it's a nice metal backing, and then to actually get the art in, this is the greatest thing ever. These things just flip up, and it's all metal. It's all, you know, nice quality. But the fact that all of these moldings just flip up is, dude, it took me literally 30 seconds to get this thing in frame. I absolutely love it.
That's nice.
Yeah, Snape Zo. So if anybody's looking for frames, this is definitely the way to go. These things are great. And as I said, it's real heavy. It's real sturdy. Good stuff.
And Snape Zo, if you're listening, the first one was free. Okay? Pay us. Pay us. We will support you. And we'll make sure these fine folk that listen to us purchase your frames.
I mean, they're definitely not cheap. I'll tell you that much. They're not cheap at all. I mean, that one was an 18 by 24, and that was a $43 frame. But the fact that it saves so much headache and it protects the edges of your poster is just it was worth it in my opinion. I'll probably be buying a lot more of these.
Right on. That was the witch print, right?
Yes, the one that got damaged and dry, and then I let it dry, and then it kind of came out even cooler because it was damaged.
Yeah, like you really lucked out with that one. It kind of had that sort of aging to it.
Yeah, that's basically what it did. The water just made it age, and it worked out.
Yeah, man. That's a nice print, though. That's going to look good next to your other ones.
Yeah, well, I had that one. Oh, no, I didn't have that one hanging up, but I do have my other witch print hanging up right now. I only have 2 posters hanging up in this tiny little apartment at the moment.
That's soon to be changed.
Hopefully. But anyway, let's get off of let's get off of frames and get into the meat and potatoes of the show tonight. So starting off, big news drop today about the Halloween sequel. It's been reported and apparently confirmed that the original actor to play the Shape, also known as Michael Myers, Nick Castle, will be returning to portray Michael Myers one more time.
That's mind-blowing news to me. Like, maybe not to the rest of the world, but the fact that the guy who made the first one all possible is coming back to do it once more. Like, you couldn't ask for a better gift as a Halloween fan.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody saw this coming. It was kind of way out of left field, but it was just like, dude, bring more stuff out of left field. You know what? I think they're really trying to hammer home that this is going to feel like the first movie again.
I'm a little worried that it might end up turning into more of a remake territory than anything, but I'm hopeful that it comes off more sequel-like. Maybe this is something that John Carpenter, like he heard the pitch and he's like, I would have loved to do that at the time had I not made part 2. Like it's a way of going back and retconning the sequel, and having the chance to do it all over again. So, I think it's a good choice to pull back from the past in order to do that.
I don't think it's really treading into remake territory. Rather, I think he's really trying to continue the first movie. Bringing back original actors, him coming back himself. I bet you the score is going to sound very, very classic. I bet you the overall look of the film and the cinematography is going to be almost have a grainy look to it. It's going to be probably very dark, very dingy, just like the first film. I bet you this is going to mimic the first film more than anything.
Yeah, it's like having a second chance to do Halloween H2O all over again. And I think that's, that was a good idea at the time, but it just didn't pay off in the way that they hoped. So now that John Carpenter's back to produce and oversee the project, and it's I gotta say, it seems like the writers and the directors, it's all in very good hands. So I'm looking forward to see what they're gonna come up with, and the fact that they got Nick Castle back is pretty crazy to me.
Yeah, it's great. It's especially fans of the Halloween franchise have to be going nuts about that. That's like a new Friday the 13th movie being announced and saying that they're bringing Kane Hodder back.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of story behind Nick Castle and his appreciation, or lack thereof rather, of the Halloween series. For many years, like he was kind of he kind of put the Halloween series behind him. He wanted nothing to do with it. He was a little bit bitter about certain things. My guess, probably money, because of how crazy of a series that the series ended up turning into. But he ended up coming around for one of the Halloween reunions out in California, and when that happened, I think that was like maybe 10 years ago. Fans lost their mind because he would never do conventions. He would never do appearances, interviews. He really didn't want much to do with it. He kind of like reminded me of Danzig when you bring up the Misfits. It was behind him, and he pretty much shut that out of his life. Then he did the one convention, and he hooked back up, and with John Carpenter again, they squashed whatever they squashed, and the rest is history. And now today we get another batch of history. It's crazy.
Yeah, so we'll definitely report more on this as more news develops. But yes, so the original Shape coming back to terrorize Haddonfield one more time, one more Halloween.
I gotta say real quick though, he's an awesome dude. I met him at one of the Monster Mania conventions a few years back, and just very humble guy. Especially after hear what you heard. He's very appreciative of the fandom and loves to meet his fans. He just very much enjoys it, and was glad to have that opportunity.
Yeah, I can imagine, man. But speaking of Monster Mania, it's a good segue right there. We did get some more guest announcements, some really good guest announcements too. So we already had more than half of the Losers Club from the new It movie at this convention. Well, they just added Sophia Lillis, who played Beverly, to the guest list. So that makes it 5 now, and I do believe that's going to be the last one from the It movie. I remember Dave saying weeks and weeks back that by the end of this, he was hoping to have 5 of the kids. So that's pretty awesome that he managed to get that. And also,
5 out of 7 is not bad.
Yeah, it's not quite like the song. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Who did that song? Was that Warren or Winger or something?
I don't even know, but still, 5 out of 7 is better than 2 out of 3.
It's funny. Speaking of Dave too, he finally followed me back on Twitter, which was pretty cool of him.
Yeah, I just want to say regarding that, like, he's been incredibly supportive of Dead Entertainment. Like, he followed us on Twitter, and it was like completely unprompted too. Like, I never like tried to reach out to him or anything like that. He followed us, and he's like retweeting our articles and such, which is it's awesome because it just reminds you like what the horror community actually is around here. Like you're supporting one another. You appreciate what each other bring to the table, and like to me, it's like a little pat on the back for all the years of us supporting him. He's going out of his way to throw us a little bit of recognition.
Yeah, man. I was thinking, maybe if we can find a good supplier like Teespring or something, maybe we can make some T-shirts and give him a T-shirt as like a thank you.
Yeah, I'd love to. I think that would be awesome. I hope to get some promotional supplies before March. So if we have anything extra if we have anything at all, I'm definitely going to hook them up with something.
So Sophia Lillis, the 5th member of the Loser Club, joins Monster Mania, and the big guest announcement for this week was the inclusion of none other than Jason from Friday 13th Part 4, the final chapter himself, Ted White, and you guessed it, he will be in costume for photo ops. That is 5 in costume Jason actors. Insane.
Well, I want to add to that really quick, and then we can get back into talking about the photo ops. 2 hours ago on Monster Mania's Facebook page, they said they are very excited to announce another in-costume photo op for 7 p.m. Thursday night. So tomorrow, we have a chance to possibly get another actor, maybe not Friday the 13th, but another actor in costume for their the photo op ethics convention.
So right now, we're just going to list this real quick. We have Steve Dash from Part 2 in costume. We have Ted White.
Amazing.
Ted White from Part 4 in costume. We have CJ Grant. Right? CJ's there?
I believe so, yeah.
Yes. All right. We have CJ Graham from Part 6 in costume. We have Kane Hodder from Parts 7, 8, 9, and 10 in costume. And we have Ken Kersinger from Freddy vs. Jason in costume. Still available would be Derek Mears in costume from the 2009 remake. Tom Morga as Roy in costume from Part 5, A New Beginning. And that would actually be it. There are no other actors. Unless Ari Liam wants to go in costume, but that'd be really weird, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. Especially how he looks now. Proud 12-year-old boy anymore, I don't think.
Yeah, he's got a little too much hair. And also, I mean, you can't forget that we also have Tony Todd as in Candyman costume.
All I know is I'm going to go completely fucking broke at this convention. I know for a fact that you, Weather Rebel, and me are going to be doing the Friday the 13th photo op, so that's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm almost tempted to get the VIP ticket just so we could I don't know if it's gonna work for the photo op though.
Skip the line?
Yeah.
The photo op, you don't even have to wait in line. They schedule you.
Oh, do they? Oh, okay. Because I've never done it before.
Yeah, they give you a set time for whatever group you're in, and you just go at the time, and it's they bang it out, and very similar to how it is done at Comic-Con. It's in and out, jump in, out, and you're gone. Completely worth it though. Like you're never going to get an opportunity this crazy, especially if they decide to add, Derek Mears or Tom Morga.
Yeah, definitely. It's crazy. I mean, I can't even think of who else. I mean, maybe one of the Michael Meyer actors. I mean, who else could we get that's in costume? Is this
Robert Englund?
That's a lot of work. I mean, I don't think he would do it.
It wouldn't be the first time he's done it. He's done it before, so.
Yeah, but he's getting up there in age, and he's been hating that makeup process for decades.
Yeah, but you know what? I gotta say that as old as Freddy gets, I still think he's gonna have one more in him. You know what I mean? Like even though he'll say that's the last time I'll ever put the makeup on, I know there's always gonna be one more in him for it. Yeah,
maybe at like the next big anniversary, but that would be
possibly.
That would be.
I don't think this convention, but possibly at an anniversary.
Yeah. So that's what we got in guests this week. As I said, there is one more. There's another guest coming tomorrow. Another in costume guest. So let the speculations fly until we hear that.
I'm pretty excited.
Moving on, yesterday the new patch and content update for the Friday the 13th game dropped. And after spending a couple hours with it, it's pretty apparent to me that they really didn't do anything. This patch, it felt so empty. Like you can see some of the changes they made, but it doesn't really feel impactful.
Have you tried the single player bots yet?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Are we gonna lose our raise our blood pressure yet?
All right, so I had someone in stream last night ask me to play offline, play on the bots. I said, sure, that's fine. I like it when people are watching my my YouTube stream, my gaming stream rather, and they request stuff. I dig that because most of the time I'll give it a shot. So they wanted me to pick Part 6 Jason. I did. Put 7 counselors in, and I put it on the hardest mode. There's easy, medium, and hard for the counselors. I put it on hard. Well, I killed the first counselor probably within the first 30 seconds. They ran right into me.
What do you mean run into you?
They went to run away, and then they turned around and ran into me.
That's weird. So the AI is pretty bad so far.
Oh, yeah. And then 5 of the kills were counselors hiding under beds.
I like this because I'm really terrible at being Jason, so it's gonna be perfect for me to learn the ropes a little bit.
Yeah, but the thing is that it does not mimic human play at all. Like I killed 8 counselors, and they didn't get one objective done. Mm-hmm. And the AI was just awful.
Honestly, it comes off to me like it's more of a training mode than anything. It's meant for not people that want to play offline, but for people who want to, get the hang of things.
The only thing I could see it really benefiting, especially a more seasoned player, are players who want to practice their shift grabs and players who want to learn potentially new maps and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it does serve its purpose. It's definitely not, something that's like something worth celebrating, I suppose.
Yeah, no. And then the other stuff that they updated, some item changes and item spawn locations. They obviously added Shelly as a new counselor. And
is he voiced by Larry Zerner?
He is, but it doesn't sound anything like him.
Oh, how many years have passed?
I mean, I couldn't believe it. I'm like that. Wow, I've heard Larry talk in person, and that does not sound like him anymore. But yeah, so this patch update, and I know they said it wasn't going to address anything balance-wise, but the fact that they're trying so much to push content down our throats, whether it's new counselors, new maps, or paid crap, paid DLC, and they're refusing to fix and polish the issues that have been present since launch. I mean, since launch, they haven't had a functioning mute button, an in-game mute button to mute players you don't want to listen to anymore. You can mute a player, and they'll stay muted until either somebody leaves or enters the lobby, and then all the people you muted, it gets wiped out. Like, they can't even code a mute button properly.
Yeah. Unfortunately, with a game like that, it seems like a massive undertaking with everything that needs to be managed, maintained, and all that. So, like, I could understand a mute button being low on the priority, but that doesn't make up for balancing issues or anything else that they could really touch upon.
Yeah, but you know what? There are times where you're playing the game, and all of a sudden, like just like an idiot you're playing with decides to start broadcasting like music.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. That's the one thing I hate about online games like that.
So it's like a mute button might be low priority, but it's been months and months and months since launch. Just fix the coding on it. It's
agreed.
It's a mute button. How hard could that possibly be to code? And we got the Virtual Cabin 2.0, which is pretty fun for people who didn't like watch videos on how to solve all the puzzles in it. And it revealed, sorry to spoil, but I know nobody watching really plays the game, but they...
Hey. Go on, I'm kidding.
Well, yeah, but you already know. They revealed a little cutscene where you get pulled into the lake by Part 1 Jason, and he was one of the new Jasons in the case in the basement of the virtual cabin, but I do not think they are intending to actually bring him in game, because I don't see how that would possibly work.
I honestly think it would be pretty cool, because, like, imagine that creepy thing that jumped out of the lake in the first movie, just, like, wandering around the forest. Like, that thing would scare the shit out of me, honestly.
Yeah, but it'd be really awkward, like, hitting that with a bat or whacking him with a machete or something. Or
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm just looking at it from a purely nightmare-fueled perspective. If I see something like that coming out of the woods, I'm shitting my pants.
And, like, if you get into the car, he's not going to be able to step in front of the car and stop it. You would run him over.
I just hope that they don't put the skin over Kane Hodder's body, because then that's going to be even worse.
Oh, that would be even awesome.
Right?
And they also revealed Uber Jason from Jason X and the Grendel map from Jason X as the next content coming. Now, this is content we were all expecting, and I'm sure this is going to change gameplay up a little bit. Playing in a map that technically takes place in outer space. But I
going to change it up. It's going to change up the environment significantly. Like, I think give you a share.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think it's enough of a change to excuse me, to really bring players back who left the game. Maybe the paranoia mode will when that comes out, but even that I'm not sure of. I mean, at this point, the novelty of the game has completely worn off for me. I'm probably rarely going to be streaming it, maybe once a week. So I'm looking for a new horror game to kind of stream full-time on my channel, because I'm just done with this game. I just don't have fun with it anymore.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. I mean, you know, you did play probably over 300 hours by now. So, you know, it's bound to happen sooner or later. But, you know, I'm of the opinion that we still have a Friday the 13th game. So the honeymoon hasn't worn off for me yet.
Yeah, I mean, maybe once they start fixing issues and polishing it and making it look a little bit better and play better, maybe I'll come back to it on a more full-time basis. But right now, I don't know. I just think I'm over it for the moment.
I think your channel could grow pretty well, you know, if you pick another game or try to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, I just got to find another horror game that I like. I mean, I could really go back to Darkwood, but Darkwood was actually a very tiresome grind. But I could go back to that every once in a while. And, you know, last year, hopefully will be coming, the beta will be coming soon, and that game just looks like everything that Friday the 13th should have been. I mean, you know, I'm not saying that the game is bad, but polished-wise, I mean, last Friday actually looks really clean and polished. And that's what we need in this type of new stalker genre of games.
One thing I gotta say, though, about Friday the 13th, whenever you get an intellectual property type of game, generally, like a movie tie-in game, generally they're terrible. They're rushed piles of shit, for lack of a better way to put it. So, like, I'm glad that Friday the 13th exists in the sense of, like they put a lot of love and care into the actual series, despite its problems. You know, like, it finally feels like a win for a movie tie-in type game.
Yeah, for the most part, I won't argue that. So, yep. So that's where we are with the game. Moving on. So, any Bubba Ho-Tep fans, you will be happy to know that the Bubba Ho-Tep prequel comic is coming. Titled Bubba Ho-Tep and the Cosmic Bloodsuckers. It will be coming in 2008 March, I believe. And I mean, anybody who was a fan of Bubba Ho-Tep, I mean, it's exciting. It was a great movie.
I want to correct you on the date. It's March 2018, not 2008.
Oh,
so
sorry.
Put Put away your time machines, people. We don't need them.
Yes, it's 2018. I'm sorry. What I'm confused is why are they actually still calling it Bubba Ho-Tep? Ho-Tep had to do with the mummy from Bubba Ho-Tep. Don't you remember when they were working on the sequel movie? It wasn't called Bubba Ho-Tep. It was called Bubba Ho-Nosferatu, right?
Yeah, but I think it was Bubba Nosferatu. I think they're doing it simply for name recognition.
I guess that's the only thing I could think of, because I mean that had to do with that specific enemy in that movie.
Yeah, that was exactly they called it that based off of the thing that he was going up against. So it would have made sense for it to be Bubba Cosmic Bloodsuckers, I guess.
Yeah,
I guess that doesn't roll off the tongue as well.
The little synopsis we got into this prequel story is President Richard Nixon has uncovered a potential threat from beyond the stars, but there's only one man who could possibly safeguard the world as we know it, Elvis Aaron Presley.
Yeah, for people who are not familiar with Bubba Ho-Tep, I'm going to read you the synopsis really quick. And drop what you're doing and go buy or rent this movie right now. It stars, it is directed by Don Coscarelli, and he was known for Phantasm, I believe, right?
Yes. And
he stars Bruce Campbell, who's Ash from Evil Dead, so you can't go wrong there. But Elvis and JFK, both alive and in a nursing home, fight for the souls of the fellow residents as they battle an ancient Egyptian mummy. You can't make that shit up.
Well, all right, hold on. It was Black JFK, played by Ozzie Davis.
Exactly. Not only was it JFK, but it was Black JFK.
So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to this. I loved the Bubba Ho-Tep movie. It was pretty funny, very interesting. Had a lot of great dialogue. And it was just unique. It was just a very unique story concept.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I'm hoping that this comic, what it does is it kind of maybe it'll reinvigorate the filmmakers, the writers, and maybe finally get Bruce Campbell to agree to come back for a sequel. It might spark that fire again. And that was the most disappointing news when Bruce was like he didn't want anything to do with the sequel. He didn't want to come back for it because he did it already. But we never thought we'd see Bruce as Ash again, so never say never.
Yes. So yes, March 2018. We'll be getting that. So keep an eye out for that in your comic shops. So moving on. Anybody who knows me knows I am a big fan of this. I guess we could technically call it a franchise, but it's not a franchise yet. But this particular movie called What We Do in the Shadows, it is a horror mockumentary, written, directed, and starring the director of Thor Ragnarok, Taika Waititi, and they are working on a spin-off movie featuring the werewolves from that movie called Werewolves. And they're also...
Which is by far one of the most clever names I've ever seen.
I'm sorry, Werewolves.
Werewolves.
Yeah.
Get it?
And they are apparently also working on a spin-off television series based on the film's Police Force, which they only had, I think, one scene, but it was probably one of the best scenes in the movie. It looks like I don't know if we'll be getting this show here. This was a New Zealand-based movie because Waititi he's a Kiwi. So it looks like the show is going to be airing in New Zealand sometime in 2018, and it looks like it's planned for 6 30-minute episodes at the moment.
That seems about normal for like a first season, just to test the waters. Based off of these characters in the movie, I could totally see a show jumping off of this. And those two police officers, that game, like they had a kind of a. If you have anybody seen Edgar Wright's Hot Fuzz, it had that sort of vibe to it, and it's a hilarious scene. And I think if they keep the people that played the roles, intact, they bring them back, they could totally do something with this.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys haven't seen the movie What We Do in the Shadows, go ahead, give it a watch. It's a really funny movie. It's very clever, and you'll be quoting it for the rest of your life. Trust me.
I just thought of this now. I really think we should watch that on one of the next Dead Entertainment commentaries on our YouTube channel.
Oh, I'm so down.
I think that would be really a great movie to jump off of, because like you watch that movie once and you're quoting it for the rest of your life. Like we still bring the quotes up to this day.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not like it's that old of a movie, so.
Yeah, but there's a difference of. There's a difference for movies that you just watch once or the ones that you're bringing up and referencing constantly.
Yeah, that's true. So a TV show and a spin-off movie, which is great for any fans of What We Do in the Shadows. So I'll be looking forward to both of those. Though, I mean, I don't know when we're going to be getting Werewolves. They don't even have a script yet, and what TT has said before, that the writing process for him sometimes takes a very, very long time.
Yeah, and with the success of Thor Ragnarok, I don't see him having any extra free time anytime soon. I think he's gonna. Isn't he up for Akira?
Yes.
So I really think that he's about to be one of the hottest directors in Hollywood. So hopefully he has a vacation somewhere where he could throw in a little bit of writing with his writing partner. But I'm not getting my hopes up just yet. My fingers to crossed.
At this point, I hope he passes on Akira. I mean, we don't need that we don't need a live action Akira. The anime's fine.
I hear you.
But I mean, getting into anime, that kind of is a good segue into the comic portion of today's show.
We're doing really good with those segues today.
Yeah, on point segues.
Completely, yeah, we're not even like set up for it. Normally, I'll write it down in the show notes. Not today.
Yeah, on point segues, man. So,
start off with the grim news.
Yeah, so basically, we'll run through this real quick. Right now, they're projecting Justice League to finish its box office run with $675 million, which is a total and complete failure, no matter which way you look at it. If reports on the inflated budget and marketing are correct, this movie's not breaking even. It's losing money. It's losing anywhere from $25 to $100 million, give or take. If it finishes with 675, that's only $7 million over what Man of Steel made. Man of Steel made 668, right? I think.
Yeah, something along those lines. And the fact that it finished at $220 million domestically is not good.
Yeah, I mean, friggin' Star Wars made that domestically in 3 days.
Yeah, I'm looking at Star Wars right now, and it's at 261, and that's not going to slow down anytime soon. But we'll.
Yeah, so it's not looking good for Justice League breaking even, let alone making money.
Yeah, and I'm glad that the studio is taking a look at that and finally shaking things up. We're gonna see a lot of studio, like maybe studio head, a lot of producers lose their job over at Warner Brothers because of this movie. But what I hope it does is, I hope it brings in some smart-minded people to take the reins. If they're going to continue this DC universe, they're going to have to start doing it right and forget everything they think they know about film and comic book movies.
Yep. So to kind of leave the just depressing plains of DC land and move over into the bright and hopeful and beautiful future of Marvel land, The Disney and Fox merger is complete. Disney has acquired Fox and all of its properties aside from sports. Fox is retaining their sports affiliations, but Disney is now the proud owners of stuff like The Simpsons and Modern Family and the X-Men and the Fantastic Four. And with the
Alien.
Yes, also Alien, Ridley Scott's Alien franchise.
Fun. Too many to name.
But the most important thing for me anyway is with the purchase of Fox, with the acquisition and bringing home of the Fantastic Four, that means we also get the Silver Surfer back under the Marvel roof. And as my favorite Marvel character, they need to just like fast track a Silver Surfer movie of some sort. I don't even know where to begin with how excited I am about this. Now, a lot of people are kind of worried because this makes Disney have this giant monopoly over so many things. But it may not be all that bad. Give them a chance.
I'm not so worried about the monopoly because it's basically just it's properties. It's intellectual properties that people can make movies over. It's not like they bought every company under the sun and nobody can make movies anymore. I think people are thinking that the sky is falling a little bit too soon. Sure, they're going to have a shit ton of properties to put out there in the box office, and it will affect strategy as far as picking box office release dates. But that's why you get paid to do it. You're supposed to pick the best strategy and work around what the other companies are doing. So now, as far as I'm concerned, those jobs got a little bit harder, and they got to earn their paycheck. So be it.
Yeah. So I say give them a year or two. Let's see what they do with some of these properties. Let's see what X-Men movies that were either filmed or in the pipeline. Let's see what happens to them, if they still come out, if they somehow get tied in, if they just get scrapped altogether. It's
going to be interesting. One thing that was very concerning for a lot of people was what was going to happen to Deadpool. And as far as I know, the CEO of Disney, Bob Iger, whatever you want to call him, he's already confirmed that Deadpool could keep his rated R. So that's a sigh of relief for me.
Yeah, I think they saw how well it did, and that was that movie. That movie made more than Justice League on a rated R rating, and didn't even get released in China.
On a Valentine's Day, no less.
So
you know what I mean? Like, that's insane.
So I'm sure Marvel, saw that. It's like, wow, we could hit a rated R market and do that well without our biggest global money bags in China. So what they might do is they might find a way to alter the movie a bit and make it so it could get released in China. Then you're looking at like an 850, 900 million worldwide movie.
Agreed. And it's only going to be beneficial if they pop him into other movies. I'm sure he's going to make his appearance in pretty much all of them from now on.
Yeah, that's good. He's going to be.
They're going to clean him up.
Yeah. All right. So my theory on this, I don't want to stick on this one too long. What did I? I don't want to stick on this too long, but I could definitely see Deadpool popping in for a gratuitous cameo in every movie, almost like Stan Lee, but a little bit more gratuitous. But they'll keep him like a hard PG-13, and they'll allow him to keep his rated R stuff. He'll probably make jokes about not being like maybe he'll try to curse, but the curse word won't come out, or it'll get bleeped or something.
Yeah, it writes itself with the way his character is written.
There are even some, like one of my favorite cameos he did was in a recent episode of one of the Spider-Man animated series from a few years ago, and they were trying to write him as Deadpool, is, but they wanted to make it like a little less violent. So instead of saying he was going to kill somebody, he kept saying, and I thought it was one of the funniest things ever, that he was going to unalive everybody.
I like it. I think I watched that episode too, and there was a transvestite joke like buried in there, but it was very tastefully done. I would be completely wrong if I tried to paraphrase it, but I caught it and I was just like, oh man, I can't believe this was on that episode.
Yeah, no, it's great, and I think Marvel's got enough great writers, and I think if they work with Ryan Reynolds and kind of give him boundaries that he just needs to stay within, he can probably bend them a little bit and they'll work around it. But when he's jumping into, the PG-13 movies, he's going to be, toned down a bit. But he'll be able to keep his rated R stuff.
Which is great. It's a good balance. And, I got to say, Ryan Reynolds is a hilarious comedian. So, I have no worry whatsoever that he's not going to be able to fit within that mold they put him in within the bigger movies.
Yeah, I mean, he could definitely have some fun interactions with characters like maybe Star-Lord or I can't even imagine how him and Rocket Raccoon going back and forth or something.
I just want him to meet Spider-Man because it's such a huge thing in the comics and on the internet. It's taken a life of its own of Spider-Man and Deadpool having this weird kind of bro-man relationship. I don't even know what to call it, but it's very meme territory. So seeing him up on the screen with the actor that plays Spider-Man, it's just going to be fantastic.
Yeah, or he pops his head into into like a Captain America movie or something, and starts to curse, and Captain America gives him the language line.
And then he's like, "Wait, weren't you Human Torch?"
Yeah, right. They can make that joke now.
Exactly. I think Chris Evans made that joke on Twitter. He's like, "Could we get a Captain America Human Torch buddy comedy?"
So,
watch it.
So I mean, basically, Marvel now has every character back under the roof, except for Universal still holds the rights, technically, film rights anyway, solo film rights for the Hulk, and I think Universal also has the rights to Namor.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I think Namor the Submariner is the only character not home. Technically, Spider-Man too. Sony still owns Spider-Man, but obviously they have the working relationship, so it works.
And you know what, man? Honestly, I completely see Universal playing ball sooner than later because, with these movies consistently making all the money, why not jump in on that? Sony was smart, and I was surprised that the Sony thing took place. But Sony was smart by jumping into bed with Marvel Studios, and I just see Universal over there looking through the window, like, can I come in? And it's only a matter of time before they do.
I hope so. I mean, I would love to get a Namor movie. Namor is a pretty ruthless character, and then Namor and Black Panther has some vicious history, so that could be a really great way to introduce Namor. It would be in a Black Panther sequel.
Yeah, I mean, the table's set. They just need to come sit down and see what could be done of it.
Yep. So moving on here, sticking with Marvel stuff. It seems like more than likely is that the Marvel Netflix shows are going to hang out on Netflix a little bit longer. I mean, there's nothing guaranteed, but I've been reading things here. I've been reading things there. You obviously have this article here from Heroic Hollywood, but I'm thinking that the Netflix shows aren't going anywhere.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of this, the bigwigs in suits are not panicking over this Disney-Fox merger as a result, or Disney's future streaming platform. They're confident with the contracts that they have signed for the Netflix shows and such, and maybe even Netflix has a shelf life for a lot of these these Marvel shows. Maybe they want to move into other ones, like they just recently put out the Punisher, which at the time wasn't even on the table, like back when they started with Daredevil. So they might be comfortable where they are right now, knowing that they are going to be able to retain these things for the time being. But we don't know what they're planning beyond that. They might have a whole slate of other characters that they're about to unveil into a new television series, or multiple ones.
Yeah, and I think removing those Netflix shows from Netflix would just be just a slap in the face to fans, because fans are eating them up. Well, eating most of them up. It seems like a lot of them didn't like Iron Fist. I loved Iron Fist, but I'm in the majority there.
Yeah, I enjoyed Iron Fist. A lot of people didn't like the corporate scenes. I thought they added like crazy amounts of character development to the characters that surrounded Iron Fist rather. And it wasn't as bad as people made it out to be. It was like, to me, it came off like a mob mentality. They expected Iron Fist to be one thing, didn't quite get that, and decided to whine all over it.
Yep, it was a great show. I think it was a nice way to kind of slow down the pace from the other shows previous. The fight choreography wasn't great. Again, it was slower paced, but I kind of enjoyed it. I think we'll see things change up a bit in Iron Fist Season 2, but that's still a good year plus away. I'm not sure if they started filming that yet. But we do have to look forward. We do have Jessica Jones Season 2 right around the corner. And we are getting a Punisher Season 2. And
Luke Cage started filming as well.
That's great. Luke Cage Season 2, all of these shows. And then moving into Daredevil Season 3. We're still not sure if we're ever going to see Daredevil or any of the Defenders actually in an MCU film. But they're not really saying it's never going to happen. They could be throwing a bit of a misdirection our way.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen eventually. I think the cast remains hopeful that that's the direction that's going to eventually come their way. But I think if it's going to happen, where it should happen is with Spider-Man. I would really like to see that the way they approached the most recent Spider-Man, that low-key street-level hero. I think he would be like fantastic addition to go into that universe, or for that matter, in the Spider-Man sequel, maybe they enter his world, because then they'd have a little bit more of a budget to do Spider-Man special effects and all that.
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool if maybe if they ever get to the point where they're doing like a Sinister Six Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man teams up with the Defenders, something like that.
Right. I think that would be a great way to start.
So yeah, I hope I'm also hoping that in the Infinity War sequel, obviously the Avengers are still going to be fighting Thanos, and if they're following some of the scenes from the comics, there is one particular scene in the comics, the Infinity Gauntlet comics I'm talking about, where Thanos pretty much snaps his finger and half of the universe disappears. Or actually, it might have just been half of Earth's population just vanishes, but I think it was the universe. And
it's an easy way to kill a few characters.
And they could show a scene of maybe the Defenders together fighting off mobs of Thanos' army, and then all of a sudden, one of them, two of them, three of them just disappear. So it's not even like it would just be a quick cameo, and then they're gone.
Yeah, I think they'd have a relatively difficult time fitting into everything they built in that big universe, like at least in the Avenger movies. But a cameo, just give me anything really at this point. I'd love to see him fill a bigger role, but I'll take what I could get.
Yep. So so we're hopeful, but I guess we won't know until. For all we know, they might have a little cameo in Infinity War, and they're keeping it tight-lipped. They're getting pretty good at keeping these secrets. So
yeah, it's quite possible. When we're going to be seeing another Doctor Strange soon, so they could also possibly show up in that.
I mean, Doctor Strange is one of the original members of the Defenders as well.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, fingers crossed, right?
So moving on, the Venom movie is well into filming. We got news that it's going to pretty much be a retelling of the Lethal Protector miniseries from back in the early 90s. I actually have a couple of those. I know I have the foil variant for the first issue of Lethal Protector.
Yeah, I think I have a couple laying around as well. I mean, I haven't dug into my comic collection in a long time, so I'm curious to see if I have any myself.
So that's pretty cool. That's a great way to introduce Venom. It's still weird to see a Venom movie with no Spider-Man at all, but I guess we'll see if they can make it work. I mean, I guess if they were able to make a Deadpool solo movie work, Venom is very popular as well. I'm sure they can handle this. We're also going to be seeing symbiote creatures in this movie. So it's going to be pretty CGI heavy if there's symbiote creatures.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And I mean, just on Venom alone, and the fact that I'm pretty sure it's confirmed that Carnage is going to be the main villain. So we're going to have symbiotes galore. And the interesting thing about the Lethal Protector is the fact that the company, I believe it's the Life Foundation, tests Venom symbiote and ends up replicating it and creates multiple symbiotes. So we might have Carnage and a gang of them running rampant in, I think, San Francisco. So, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, if they're going with Cletus, who wasn't the only Carnage, but I think he was like the most violent Carnage.
I think one of the best.
Yeah, because I think Cletus in real life was just like a mass serial killer.
Mm-hmm. You couldn't have asked for like a better type of character to jump into that suit. And one of the things that I, growing up that used to drive me nuts is the fact that a lot of comic fans thought he was too one-dimensional. And to me, I thought it was brilliant to like have a suit that is all powerful like that get put into the really wrong hands. Not just somebody that could go either way, but somebody that has no grasp on reality and care of anybody else's life or life in general.
Yeah, he's a very just brutal character, and I think it'll play a very good foil to Venom on screen as long as it's written well.
The fact that they're coming up with using this Lethal Protector series where he's purposely separated from Spider-Man amidst a truce, I think they're at least being smart about the way they're telling it. So that tells me that they're putting a little effort into this, which is some superhero movies don't even get that much.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out, and if we get we've been getting a lot of news on this movie lately, a lot of set photos and stuff. So
Did you see the sculpts today?
No, I didn't.
They were confirmed as not part of the movie, but the person that sculpted them based his design off of what he's seen in the production. So if you look them up online, if you're a fan of Venom, check out the recent pictures of the Venom sculpts that this artist did. If Venom looks like half as close as these sculpts in this movie, they already have my money.
Yeah, well, I'll take that with a grain of salt. I'll wait for something official.
I completely agree, but they're still worth checking out because they're their art. They're fantastic.
So, all right. let us get into the headlining topic for tonight. I can't get into it as much as I would like because some people, they will remain nameless. Some people, though, have not seen Star Wars The Last Jedi. So don't fret.
I mean, like, who would go that long without seeing Star Wars? You know?
I don't know. So don't fret, anybody listening who hasn't seen it yet. I am not diving into spoilers. But for anyone who's read my review on deadentertainment.com, you'll know that I love the film. I gave it an 8.5. And it's probably either my favorite Star Wars movie now or right under Empire Strikes Back.
That's bold praise, I gotta say. One thing, and this is not even a cheap plug to check out your review. I helped proofread the initial draft of the review. You know, I was going through it, and like my excitement for the film just went up a few notches based off of, you know, the spoiler-free shit that you said. You know, the fact that it was a very emotional movie with a lot of beats that needed to be hit, and it's, I don't know, I'm more excited to see the movie than I was before.
Yeah, so basically what we're going to be talking about for a little while here is there is a lot of backlash with this movie, a lot of backlash, to the point where fans have created a petition to have it removed from Star Wars canon. All right? Now, there's also rumors going around. The audience score on Rotten Tomatoes is crazy low, but there are rumors about that. There's been a couple people who just created bots to downvote the movie on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not. Whatever. It doesn't even matter to me. The movie's a great movie in my opinion. But people are mad because there's a lot of stuff that happens in this movie. This movie is it's emotional, all right? It's emotionally heavy. It's emotionally draining. This movie, you're going to get a lot of the past, all right? Just like The Force Awakens was very much a rehash of A New Hope. And I was okay with that. Listen, if it's not broke, don't fix it. That was my opinion of The Force Awakens. I love The Force Awakens. At this point, you don't want to do the same thing. You don't want to turn The Last Jedi into a rehash of Empire Strikes Back. And believe me and trust me when I tell you, it is not. It is not. It is the farthest thing from the Empire Strikes Back. Now, there's plenty of past nostalgia. You know, you're going to get a lot of Luke Skywalker. Not the Luke you remember, but Luke nonetheless. You're going to get a Luke who still has so much to learn about the Force. You're going to get a good amount of Leia, a very awkward scene in one particular area, but if you overlook that, you still get some good Leia. They send her off beautifully. She's still very strong. She's still a badass character. And I love the way that they wrote her in this movie. It was just the most beautiful way to send off our princess.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was most worried about with her untimely demise. You know, it's just like how are they going to approach this? How are they going to do it? Is it going to be that she deserves? You know, after everything she's given to the series.
Well, I have theories on what happens to her between episodes 8 and 9. But I can't really get into them without diving into a little bit of spoilers. So I'm not going to.
Next week.
So yes, we get a lot of Luke, a good amount of Leia. We do. We get very little C-3PO, very little R2-D2. We get a couple of funny scenes with Chewbacca and the Porgs. We all need Porgs as pets. Someone needs to breed a Porg. I don't know. They need to take a Kiwi and a Penguin and breed them or something. I don't know. Somebody make Porgs happen. All right.
Get on that.
So getting back to this fan backlash, they're mad because there's a lot of emotional scenes, a lot of scenes that change the landscape of Star Wars forever. All right.
Dare I say that Star Wars, if anything, desperately needs a landscape change?
Exactly. These emotional scenes, and there's a bunch of them, and not just emotional scenes. There's also a ton of misdirection, and one of the reasons why I think these fans are so mad is because they were getting into the fucking they were going into this movie thinking, yeah, I know we're gonna get an answer to this, we're gonna get an answer to that, yeah, this is probably gonna happen, this, we're gonna learn this finally. None of it fucking happens, and if it does, it's in the most like anticlimactic way possible. All this misdirection, I think, pissed fans off because they thought they knew what was going to happen, and they were all so fucking wrong. Every theory you've seen out about anything regarding this movie before it was released, all wrong. Every single one wrong, and they are all beyond wrong.
That's exciting to me. I was really worried about going into this thing. And like between episode 7 and this one, I was worried that like I had way too much time to really think about this movie and accidentally stumble upon what the movie was going to be, because as a lifelong fan, you could kind of deduce where things are going to go, and hearing this from you excites me even more to see it.
Yeah, it's so much misdirection, so much emotion, and what this movie does is it brings the past back, it gives it to you, and then it completely allows the future to pave over it onto the new Star Wars that we will be getting. It's enough of the past that I thought would make fans happy, but with a clear line of sight to the future of the Star Wars franchise. Apparently, I was wrong. Fans absolutely are revolting against it. And you know what? They need to just grow up at this point. We've gotten, right now, 8 Star Wars movies, 9 if you include Rogue One. And to that point, they've all followed in like the Skywalker storyline and Obi-Wan storyline. It's time that we move on and introduce some new characters and new storylines. And, obviously we got that with Poe and Rey and Finn and Ren. Why are all these names so short? You realize that? Poe.
Yeah, that's true.
Poe, Finn, Rey, Ren.
Yeah. Luke. Han. See it. Name?
The new girl Rose, who I'm going to get into in a second. They're all like 3 or 4 letter names.
Easier to remember, I guess.
Anyway, we have great new characters now. Poe is he's almost like the new Han Solo in a way. Very reckless. But they built it. They really expanded on his character nicely in this movie. We have an equally awesome droid to take over for R2-D2 in BB-8. Obviously, Chewie is still around. Finn is a great heroic character who they're continuing to build, just like Rey. Rey had some awkward lines in this movie and a few awkward deliveries, but for the most part, I enjoyed her portrayal again. Daisy Ridley's portrayal of Rey again. Kylo Ren is sort of shaping up to be I wouldn't say missed opportunity, but I'm hoping that they really revamp his character in the next movie, and I have theories on that. And then, as I said before, the new character, Rose, who really stole this movie, in my opinion. She was absolutely fantastic. The first time you see her on screen is, her name is Kelly Marie Tran, and the first time you see her, she comes off as kind of a comic relief throwaway character for that particular scene, and then she gets thrown into the main fray of the movie, and they just build her up and completely flesh her out in one of the most beautiful ways. she just keeps getting better every time you see her on screen, and her character just becomes more and more and more compelling until you get to the end of the movie and you're like, all right, give me a Rose solo movie.
Oh my god, I think like with that sentence alone, all the fanboys are going to be asking for your head.
Yeah, well, they can ask for it all they want. They got to come get it first. The fact is that Rose is definitely the standout character in this movie. Kelly Marie Tran, absolutely phenomenal. They did an amazing casting with her. I think this was her first movie, if I am not mistaken. I didn't look it up on IMDb, but I thought I watched an interview where it said that this was her first movie, and she couldn't believe that she got it. Just don't cast her aside when you first meet her. Just let her grow on you, and you will be so pleasantly surprised. Especially if you overlook all the misdirections this movie throws at you and all the emotional baggage that comes with this movie. So the fanboys can complain about it all they want, but the fact is that they don't want to move out of the past and into the future with the Star Wars franchise. And it's
let me bring up something to jump off of that real quick. They complained in episode 7 when it was too much like the past, and now that it's finally moving away from the past, they are complaining that it's not enough like the past. What the fuck do they want?
Yeah, and I was complaining about this on Twitter. I made a bunch of tweets saying the exact same thing. No matter what these fans get, they're never going to be happy. All right, they're just going to be miserable and find all kinds of shit to complain about any Star Wars movie. And you know what? At this point, drop the fucking franchise. Don't support it anymore if that's the way you feel. All right, maybe you're not gonna like the films as much as the older films, and that's fine. I get that. And that's almost to be expected. But the trajectory that this franchise is taking right now is awesome. It's absolutely awesome. It looks fantastic. They're getting young, awesome actors that we could get another 1, maybe 2 trilogies out of them. You know, these actors are in it for the long run. All right, we're not going to go from when was Return of the Jedi? 1983, 84. We're not going to go from 84 to the late 90s before we get another Star Wars movie. That's just not going to happen anymore. Star Wars is back, and Star Wars is here to stay. They needed to get these young actors and characters into the franchise so that they can continue the franchise for 1 or 2 trilogies. All right? Just get over it. Just get over it. Accept the future.
I look forward to seeing what comes with this series, especially now that they're trying to pull away from the Skywalker... the whole Skywalker storyline, because one thing that I always say about movies is that a lot of the times the writers are stuck just trying their hardest to keep the storyline intact, trying to keep everybody, all those characters on that right path to in order to tell sequels. And what they end up doing is they end up writing themselves into a corner where it's just like, oh, well, what the fuck kind of adventure is this guy going to go into? How many adventures is this Luke Skywalker going to see in his lifetime? And it gets to the point where you're just like, who cares about what these guys are doing? Maybe we should start building up other characters so that we could create new mythologies and create new faraway storylines that we could go to. And I think we've reached a point where they desperately needed to start pushing away from the past and taking the Star Wars franchise into a different direction, and I'm glad that they finally are. And I hope that J.J. Abrams is able to, pick up the reins of where Rian Johnson left off, and take it in that same direction with Episode 9.
Well, you can't really say that yet until you actually sit down and watch the movie. And as I said in my review, my biggest problem with this movie was it was 2.5 hours, and it feels like 2.5 hours. The first act of this movie does drag a little bit. It's good. It's a good first act, but it does feel a little long in the tooth. But once you get into the second and third act, it doesn't stop. It moves it moves at a great pace. But by the end of it, you feel like you've been there 2.5 hours.
One might say that the first act slowness really makes the second and third act pay off.
Yeah, it's a build up because once the second act really kicks in, it's just like, oh my god, did that really just happen? Wait, what is going on? What is happening? It's just one hit after another.
That's really exciting.
So it's like that first act lulls you into, all right, well, nothing real crazy is going to happen, right? And then it's just like, nope. We got you by the balls on this one, guys. It's just non-stop.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it personally. I really wish I had seen it already, but my week has been relatively crazy. I want to say that I'm going to go see it tomorrow, but every time I say it, I'm going to go see it tomorrow, I never do. So who knows?
Yeah. You know, you could have seen it this past weekend, but what did you see instead?
I didn't see it. That's the fucked up part.
Oh, you didn't go?
I didn't go. I supported Justice League via a free movie ticket, and I never end up going.
You chose wisely.
Probably. My plan was great. Don't get me wrong. I was going to see Justice League at 11:30 in the morning, something like that, or 11 in the morning, and then I was going to see Star Wars at 2:30 in the afternoon, like a half hour after Justice League would have went out. But the free ticket vouchers don't work for Star Wars. Like none of them, like apparently across the board, free vouchers do not work on that movie. So I was like, I don't want to pay for this. Not right now. I got cheap.
Well, you could have just used the free voucher to get a ticket to another movie and just walked into Star Wars.
Good point. Why don't you tell me these things in advance? Or I should have, stole Richie's movie pass.
I thought we weren't speaking of that anymore and bringing up that name.
No, we said that wasn't to be brought up in chat. I could bring it up all I want in podcast.
No. It's this particular topic. It's worldwide. Chat, in person, on podcast, on stream, doesn't matter.
I'll start talking about it once I finally get it. Whenever I get it, who knows?
So, right now, Star Wars is sitting at around 500, close to 540 million worldwide. I don't know if it's gonna hit $1 billion. It'll come close though.
It's on the right trajectory for it.
I thought it would actually be doing better right now, and not that it's doing bad by any stretch of the mean, but I thought it'd be doing better.
What I'm worried about is all these news sites reporting Star Wars' Rotten Tomatoes score and the whiny fan backlash. I'm worried that it's gonna have the same effect that Justice League or any of the DCU movies has. Like the general moviegoer sees this negative press and is like, oh, well, I'm not going to go see that. They screwed it up, obviously.
No, but it's really not that much negative press. It's just from whiny fans. The critic score is still at 93% on Rotten Tomatoes.
True, but word of mouth via whiny fans is a powerful thing, and I'm a little bit nervous about that.
Yeah, I'm not. Star Wars fans are the most rabid fan base alive, and people, normal people, the Gen Pop, I don't think they'll take a lot of them seriously.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, it seems like what they did with this movie is a breath of fresh air and where the series probably has to go, in order to keep fresh. So, I really hope that people give it a shot, and ignore all the fucking noise.
Yeah, so basically what I wanted to say was, if you're one of those rabid fanboys who don't like this movie, that's fine, all right? If you're one of those rabid fanboys who didn't like this movie and you went and started a fucking petition to remove it from Star Wars canon, just turn in your fan card, please. Get off the internet and just stop doing whatever you're doing. You're not a fan. You're the worst kind of fan. And you don't deserve a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, I think it's time for you to move on to a different fandom. Like try to find something that piques your interest, like it did back when you first got into it. Like I hate to be the person to sit there and say, there's the door, but hey, there's the door.
Yeah, it's any fan, whenever they get a sequel to a franchise that they just don't like, any fan could go, yo, let's remove this from the canon of the franchise.
I hate that petitions are a thing. Like these like big whiny babies don't get their way, and they gotta go to starting some sort of fanboy petition that never goes anywhere. You ever notice like petitions don't do anything? So like, what's the point?
But we want the Snyder cut of Justice League, man. We want the Snyder cut.
Like honestly, you really think that a petition is going to convince Disney or Kathleen Kennedy or anybody on the Star Wars: The Last Jedi to sit there and say, okay, well, the $300 million or whatever that we just spent and the $1 billion we're set to earn, like we understand you fans and we know where you're coming from. Let me remove it from the canon and it doesn't matter. Fuck you! Like that's what they're going to tell you, and it's ridiculous that you think that a lousy petition is going to make a difference or I guess justify your whines. I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's you know what? I expect fans to not be crazy about some of the films, and they'll have complaints, and that's normal fan stuff. But there are levels and limits that you guys just need to just shut up and get over. All right.
Yeah, exactly. Time to grow up and just. I've seen terrible movies in my day, and ones that I had high hopes for and went into with big expectations, and they weren't met. You know what I did? I got up the next day the same way I did that current day. Just get over it and move on with your life.
Yeah. That's it, man. Just if you start a petition over a movie, just plain and simple, just fuck off.
Oh, really? That's it? Just simple as that. Fuck off.
Yeah.
But I do want to advertise a petition that I can get behind real quick. I just remembered. The Miller Report, based in United Kingdom, started a petition on Change.org. That personally I want to support right now. It's not at 100 signatures. It's at 81, but I think it's a strong petition and worth getting behind. The petition's called "Stop Nerds from Watching Star Wars Movies," and it's the first word of the sentence pretty much says it all. Nerds ruin everything. The fanboys that we're kind of moaning about tonight on this episode. Those are the type of people that are they're bringing down the fandom and stuff for people that could enjoy things, or are open-minded about things. Yeah, so let's stop the whining. Let's move on with our lives and enjoy everything, or try to, at least.
Yeah, so we're going to be good fans and go ahead and do our weekly shout-outs here as we wind this one down.
I think this is an early episode.
Yeah, well, I kind of wanted to just move through stuff and
I think this is an early.
What? Oh, well, sorry about that. Yeah, I was kind of just pushing to make this one a little bit faster.
Yeah, I think it worked out.
Yeah, this week's shout-outs, obviously, give one more shout-out to our vendor Spotlight for Gray Matter Art. Check those guys out, graymatterart.com. You can follow them on Twitter to get updates on their upcoming releases at Gray Matter Art. And go check them out. They got a lot of great things up for sale. They sell all Marvel stuff. I don't even think they do DC stuff. I don't think I've ever seen a DC poster. It's all Marvel. They do horror. They do thriller movies, old horror, sci-fi. Just amazing stuff. Great prices, and it's all obtainable. So check them out. Gray Matter Art. Obviously, gonna throw out another shout out to Fright Rags. If you have a horror T-shirt need, Fright Rags has the answer. So check them out, frightrags.com. You can also follow them on Twitter to also keep track of their upcoming releases. These guys friggin' pump out new designs and T-shirts more than any other company I've ever seen. Also give a shout out to our favorite convention, Dave and Monster Mania. Monster Mania is coming back to Cherry Hill March, what was that, 8th? March 9th. March 9th through the 11th, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. So if you guys, anyone listening to this in the tri-state area, want to go to the best convention on the East Coast, this is the one to go to. We will be plugging and promoting the show up until we actually go, and then it's only going to get even more plugs and more marketing from us, as we hope to do some live streams, and we hope to record a lot of stuff there.
And if you're going, come buy me and Matt drinks. You know, we need some alcohol.
Yes. Well, I mean, we usually are pretty well stocked in the room.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. But I do want free drinks too. So hook us up.
And then all my normal Twitter shout-outs. My buddy Tartolv on Twitch TV. That's www.twitch.tv/TARDULV. His channel, he does almost all horror games. Right now he's doing The Evil Within 2. He usually streams midday, so check him out. And then my normal Twitter shout-outs are at Kim Fall, at Horror Movie BBQ, at Max Fishers, that's FISCHERS, at Jonathan Barkin, at Freddy in Space, and at Mad Eye Yokai. Another just quick plug for my buddy Mad Eye. He actually just coded and released his first little mini computer game. It's called Horror Block Breakers. You could go and check out his YouTube channel. Just search for him, Mad Eye Yokai. And he's got a video up on where you can download Horror Block Breakers for free. So go ahead and support him. Drop him a comment. Drop him a like. And just tell him Bates sent you. And that's going to do it for me on my shout-outs this week.
All right. You caught me right in the middle of opening a window, so I couldn't push the talk. 1 second. All right, so you saw one of my shout-outs, and I wanted to give props to Dave Hagen from Monster Mania. He's the promoter of that convention, and just a generally nice guy. He's a fan, and he does the show for the fans. So I think it's really important that he gets a little quick shout-out because, he doesn't have to go out of his way to pull in as many guests and as many photo opportunities or just opportunities in general to meet some of your favorite stars. And the fact that he's so supportive of the horror community, local and beyond, it's tremendous. So I wanted to give him a quick shout out. Another one, obviously, you're probably sick of me saying this, but deadentertainment.com, our website, has 2 giveaways going on currently, and they end, I believe, Christmas Day. The Facebook giveaway is a Fright Rags t-shirt of your choosing. We'll pick a winner. You give us a size and address, and we...
Hey, what happened? You there? Alright, I think, oh. Wait a second, that might be on me. Hey, you there?
Chainsaw Massacre?
Sorry, my Discord crashed.
Oh, okay, you're back.
Yes, I am back. All of a sudden you cut out, and I thought that was you, and then I realized it was.
Yeah, I heard it too, and I was like, wait a second, was that me or him?
You can just go back and repeat everything you said from like the last 15, 20 seconds.
All right, so I just wanted to talk about what we're doing for the last few days of /the holiday launch event on deadentertainment.com. Since last week's episode, I have the interview with Adam Marcus up. It was a relatively huge interview. We talked about his upcoming film Secret Santa. We talked a little bit about Jason Goes to Hell, but Bates over here covered that extensively in his interview. We talked about Texas Chainsaw and what's going on with his production company, Skeleton Crew Productions, and what lies ahead. Give it a read. It's awesome. After that, we posted a history on Krampus. The next day, we did a live commentary on the Dead Entertainment YouTube channel for the movie Krampus. Bates joined us, hosted myself and my buddy Chris Wendland, who's going to be on the Dead Entertainment podcast more often. We did a review on Santa's Sleigh, which is amazing. Like, give the review a look. It's very entertaining. It was by my cousin Joe Antonucci. Very, very fun review to check out. I looked at Gremlins the next day. Beyond that, we reviewed Resident Evil 7 DLC that was just released. And we took a fun look at Home Alone today, which we basically looked at the character Kevin McAllister from the Home Alone movies. And, we gave it a bit of a spin where you might wonder if he became a serial killer in his older age. So give that a read. It's definitely worth checking out. deadentertainment.com. Finally, I wanted to shout out Bill Goldberg. Yes, the wrestler. We reviewed Santa's Sleigh, which Bill Goldberg is part of, and we put out the review out there onto Twitterland, and he came across it and retweeted it, which is pretty awesome. The fact that he took a minute to give us Nobody Company a little shot to be put out to his 190. So that was pretty cool. I thought it would be interesting and to mention his name at least. And that's going to wrap it up for me.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. I'm glad. I know we started late, but we kind of kept this one down a little shorter, so we're getting there. I hope anybody who's watching this, if you guys came in for the live commentary for Krampus, I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was the first time we've ever done anything like that. We're still working out the kinks in terms of getting the volume right and the sound right. It's just a matter of me finding the happy medium to where I can hear the movie, but the movie does not come through my headset.
It's kind of a balancing act when you've got two other people in different locations, and you got to juggle the movie sounds as well.
Yeah, so it's I'm gonna work on it a bit more and try to streamline that process for future commentaries that we do on deadentertainment.com and the YouTube channel. So I don't think the first one went so bad. I gotta re-listen to it though and just see.
It's a lot of fun.
What?
I said we had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, we did have fun. I just need to go back and see where I need to make tweaks on audio on my end, because I had to add a noise gate filter to my mic to cut out the audio from the movie. So I got to see how I sounded and then just make tweaks to my noise gate and suppression filters.
Yeah, definitely check the episode we did out. Go to the Dead Entertainment YouTube channel, which can be found on the website, and we'll look for events to be posted on social media, because we had a good time, and we're gonna look to do more of them. Like earlier in the episode, I told him I wanted to do what we do in the Shadows commentary, and we always wanted to do Devil's Rejects commentary, and I believe I Drink Your Blood was another one we had named. So they're a lot of fun. Grab some drinks, come hang out in the chat, and just enjoy the movie with us.
I'm wondering if if we could find some good public domain movies we could do where we could actually show the movies.
Yeah, I'm positive of it. And shit, a couple drinks in, we will have a blast with these old movies.
Yeah, I would love to find some of those good exploitation 70s flicks and do those.
Dare I say, we might actually get away with it. Some owners that aren't even known anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm maybe we could actually just stream I Drink Your Blood.
It's possible. Maybe we could get permission from the guys who run Grindhouse Releasing. Because I've talked to them constantly at conventions, so maybe we could pull something off.
Do they own the rights to it?
Yeah, they're the ones that put it out.
Oh, all right. So yeah, that would be even great. We could even tell them, we'll watermark it with their branding.
Yeah, definitely. On top of that, we could probably even buy one of the Blu-rays that came out and give it away during the event.
That would be even better. Yeah. So.
Yeah, look. Obviously, we have some stuff in mind, so keep a lookout. We're gonna do some fun stuff between this channel, his gaming channel, Live Deliciously in Game, and the Dead Entertainment YouTube channel. So yeah, take a look at our pages and follow us.
Yep, definitely, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you next week after Christmas. From myself, everyone at deadentertainment.com, Mungus, we all want to wish you guys happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever, Happy Festivus, whatever you people out there celebrate. Go enjoy it. Try not to murder your family. Drink a lot. Drinking is the key to getting through family holidays, all right? That is Bates' advice to surviving the holidays. Liquor. Lots and lots of liquor. So again, guys, enjoy your holidays. I hope you guys get some good stuff, eat some good food, have some good company, and we will see you next week after Christmas. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, just another quick cheap plug to follow us on Twitter, Way of Life Net, at Way of Life Net. Follow us or like us on Facebook, facebook.com, Way of Life Net. And you could find us writing, me and Bates over here, writing for Dead Entertainment every day at deadentertainment.com. And I just want to echo what Bates said about the holidays. I hope you enjoy them. Have a good one. And, come in, hang out with us next Wednesday and tell us about them. We'd love to hear it. And I'm sure the two of us are going to have plenty to talk about, with the madness that goes on our houses.
Yeah.
I
was thinking, that's just as you brought that up. I think next week would be kind of a cool. Maybe we'll do a little bit of news and stuff and updates, but maybe we'll just kind of make next week's podcast more of. If we get a couple people in chat, more of a discussion. We could just talk about the holidays after we do our news segments. Just a bit more of an interactive podcast.
Yeah, I'm all for it. So tell your friends, come in, hang out, and just pour yourself an eggnog. A little leftover eggnog. Enjoy a little Christmas conversation.
Yeah. So hope you guys are looking forward to that. We'll do more of an interactive stream with anyone in chat next week, and that should be fun. So again, thank you guys. You can follow me on Twitter at Bates_motelmt, and you can find my YouTube channel, Live Deliciously in Game. But most of the people who are here are already subscribed to that channel. But if you're not, go subscribe to it. I do giveaways on that channel a lot. I'm just going to plug that real quick before we end. I'll have my next giveaway coming up at the end of January, and it's either going to be the Gray Matter Art Prometheus poster or the Gray Matter Art Edward Scissorhands poster. I haven't decided. I'm probably going to flip a coin, and one of those will be the next giveaway at the end of January going into February. Again, these are high quality posters. They you know, go for about $50 each. So they're not cheap posters. They're on high quality cardboard. And they're absolutely gorgeous. You guys have seen them. You can go to the graymatterart.com to check out the Prometheus print and the Edward Scissorhand print. And yes, so there will be a giveaway for one of those at the end of January.
And if you're curious of what these things look like, visit deadentertainment.com tomorrow, as Bates is going to be showcasing the posters on the website. You know, he's going to have a great article about Gray Matter Art, what they're all about, and he's going to show, you know, the posters that he received in these mystery tubes or whatever they're called. But great article and a great video to come, so definitely check that out.
Yep. So guys, again, thank you so much, and we will see you next week. And you know, remember.
What do you think this is all about? You think this is a fucking costume? This is a way of life.